Okay. Hi, guys! Oh, well, hey, nerds. I guess I should use my introduction plug. Ugh. But anyways, hi, nerds. How you doing? Welcome back to another tier list today. And, of course, Jay's joining us. Jay, don't start carving into your desk. That's what it sounds like you're doing. Are you drawing a picture into your desk?
No, I'm carving my desk with my fingers.
Oh, that's just weird. But anyways, today we're covering blue units. Blue units, you might say. Yes, blue units, because several of you pointed out, hey, why didn't you include Nowi? Why didn't you include Lind? And we're just like, did you guys not read the title?
It's red, not blue.
Alright, so we're going to be going alphabetical order like we did last time. And I have to say the first one up is, he's like Cain, but he's Abel. Okay. Abel's okay, and since he has A in his name, I'm just gonna put him in A rank, because that's where I think he belongs. Not A+, yeah, just kinda A.
He's actually very fitting in A, and also, fun fact, the Wikipedia was ranking him as A.
Oh.
While they were ranking Inoka as S. They virtually have almost the same stats.
Yeah,
you know?
I was about to say, aren't they basically the same character, just one can fly and one...
Yep. And you know what they said to basically back up their claim?
What's that? Well,
one can't go through trees while the other one can.
Oh, well then, okay, yeah, that solves that, I guess. Well, I mean, technically, we'll get into that in a bit. I'm going to talk about that with another character then as well, because if so, then I'm guessing Tsubaki should also be up there, just because why not? But, I mean, guys, Wikipedia's change almost all the time. Our tier list won't change, usually.
Yeah, oh my god. They made a completely new tier list, like...
Oh, I'm well aware. I have to go and pick the sprite icons, not the sprite icons, but the actual icons out of the game, and like that requires going to the sprite resource and some other places, and just making sure things are. Anyways, up next is Azura. I know you have some strong feelings about her, but I honestly think she's still S just because of her stats in her own little world. She is a good enough dancer. She would probably be A+ if she didn't have... I ran into some arena fights where she was just outrageous for no reason.
I literally one-shotted her with a red unit today.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that if you try hard, but she's still... I had a unit where she was just off somewhere on the other side of the map, just not doing anything. And I was killing a Hector with my Ryoma.
Oh, he did. Mercy, Rings of Mercy happened. I'm guessing.
Yes, and that I didn't even notice. And then she came in and just destroyed me. She has good attack stats. She's a dancer, but she's a lot more frail than, say, Olivia. I honestly still think Olivia is the best dancer in the game, just for me.
Yeah, like if it wasn't for Def, I would definitely rank her as S, possibly.
Yeah.
The fact that she's running with 21 defense is kind of garbage. She can deal with reds to some extent. I will agree with that. But when it comes to dealing with blues, she more often than not will get her ass whooped. And when she's dealing with green, it's not even a question. My Minerva was hitting her for fucking 90 damage in total.
Yeah, she is really frail, but I still see her viability as a damage dealer. I mean, you might want to just replace that weapon she's using, because Triangle Adept's
nope.
Kinda... Really?
Nope. If you do that every fucking time, every color will be able to wipe her out.
Oh.
Like, literally, my Corrin would deal 36 damage to her in one round.
Well, that's just... Okay, then I still say just because she's very close to A+, but she's still technically an S on my end. Mostly just...
Yeah,
now,
the place I ranked her is like towards more the top of A+ than toward the bottom. So
I mean, she's not terrible, she's not the most amazing, but I still think she's good enough to apply to S. Outside of that, we do have Sheeta as a bride this time. She's a new unit, and I'm going to solidly put her in A+, because that's where I believe she belongs.
Nah, she actually belongs in S.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, what reasons do you have for this?
She has an insane 37 speed. Her attack is not that great, but it's still a solid 40. Combined with her speed, that's a decent candidate for Desperation. I've used Bunny Lucina to clear the entire teams in Arena.
Oh.
Kata basically has the same stat, but one more speed. Like, the only thing that she would need to basically equal my Bunny Lucina would be using Life and Death 2.
Oh. Well...
So, I'd consider her S, but, like, she's at the bottom of S.
Yeah, the reason I see her as A+ is because her attack is... it's kind of funny. She copies and mirrored her stats from her original form. Like, you know, she has the speed, but she lacks the attack. And she keeps the resistance.
Except, funnily enough, she has 4 more attack because
I know
apparently the right outfit gives you extra powers.
Yeah, it's extremely weird. I still see her as A+, just because I don't think she can quite meet the utility of, you know, that's mainly the reason why Azura's even up there, because she still has the utility that, you know, most singers, dancers do. And she just can't match the attack. But then again, I have Lind in my game, so I tend to just steer towards her as, you know, a character.
Yeah, to me, Linde is at the top of S, and Brightcade is at, like, the bottom of S.
Yeah. Well, this is also a newer character, and that, of course, is Camus, or Camus. Whichever...
He's easily an S+ unit.
Yeah, he is an S+ unit. I agree. He is strong. He has his distant counter ability. He has slightly better stats than Xander, because why not? At least when it comes to
slightly better. Meanwhile, it fucking has the same attack but 33 speed instead of 24. Already pretty substantial.
As I said, his stat spread is a lot better and a lot more kind to him as an attacker. And, you know, that's not including the fact that he's a cavalry unit, because, of course, you know...
Yeah, with buffs, he's absolutely ridiculous. Also, I just want to point out, you said, yeah, I agree he's in S+, but then you put him in S.
Wait, he's S+? Oh, I said S.
No, I said S+.
Oh.
He's easily S+, because he essentially has Ryoma's stat spread.
I mean, okay, I'll go with that, because he was pretty close to that, so I'll let you have that one.
Like, he has just minus a bit of res, but everything else, S+.
Yeah,
like, he's really, like, a better Ryoma, almost.
I mean, he definitely has that advantage. The only thing, of course, he has a weakness to would probably be Beast Slayer, but that's like saying, oh man, Ryoma's so good, but his only disadvantage is Kagero, you know, things like that. So...
You know, it's really funny, because... when you see those Beast Slayer, it's not even that big a threat.
Yeah, I know.
Like, if you consider Blade Tomes, like, if you use a Blade Tome versus a horse slaying tome to deal with a horse unit, more often than not, the Blade Tome will do more damage when fully buffed than a horse slayer would do to a fucking horse unit.
Not only that, but like if it's being used against you, chances are it's also going to buff your defenses way past that point. So there's just really no point. But you know, he is very good, and I really do enjoy him. Distant counter is also a nice little benefit to have. So
yeah, if he didn't have a distant DC built in, he would be S tier easily. But not more than that. The fact that he has DC just really bumps up his potential. He does have issues. He does have issues because to deal with mages,
he has very low resistance. You would need to add Fury to his build, I think.
But yeah, he has the same. He has the same issue as Hike when it comes to resistance. However, the fact that he has 3 movement range allows him to actually outrange most of those mages and just straight up murder them.
Okay, but I do have a question for you. Can he go over trees? If not, he's going back down to S rank.
Oh, no.
All right, moving on down. We have Katria, and honestly, she was really solidly close to B, but I think I might up her to A because that seems a little bit better with her stat alignment, at least for me.
She's more toward the top of A than at the bottom.
Okay.
I'll say that.
That's what I thought, because she does have some decent stats. She's not terrible. You know, if we really want to talk about terrible, we'll talk about Claire a little bit later, but still. you know, seal attack and things like that. She has decent enough attack and pretty decent defense and resistance. Not amazing, but
she has 29 defense, which is pretty good. Her res is average.
Yep.
Her speed is at 34, which is pretty solid.
Yep.
And she has 31 attack, which is pretty average, but pretty good.
And she goes over trees. That's what matters.
Oh no, not the trees.
All right, next up. Next up we have Charlotte as a bride with the terrifying look that she gives. I'm thinking A+, because she has decent enough stats. She can be a pretty good Blue Lance unit if you decide to put her in there. That seems to be, and of course, since she has, you know, that, you know, it seems every bride, at least this one, has speed for some reason, even though they're wearing huge-ass dresses, and I don't really understand it.
Don't you know? People with dress can go at 50 kilometers per hour.
I have no idea what you're talking. Speak American to me, goddammit. Anyways. You know, we here in America use miles, we use Fahrenheit. You speak any of that nonsense here, I'm gonna kick you out, but no. Yeah, she's
Charlotte is a great unit if you use a Brave Lens on her, because she has a solid 36 attack and 32 speed.
Yeah.
Still consider Cordelia to be just one spot higher than her.
Yeah.
But if you consider Inoka versus Cordelia, she would be right in between the two.
Yeah.
Because she essentially has the same speed as Inoka. She has one more attack than Inoka. And just overall, her HP allows her to tank rather well. Yeah. Though her defense and res are kind of soft bar, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty solid for what would probably be A+, honestly. Nothing too amazing. But, you know, she's a good unit if you decide to invest in her, I would say. Same as Sheeta, honestly. I mean, but let's talk about this character who I'm just going to... Her name starts with what rank I'm giving her. It's Claire. Goodbye, Claire.
She's B.
I say she's C. Because... like, she's based around, like, her whole position, at least for me, was that she's trying to be this hit-and-run type unit. I mean, it's built into her kind of kit. She's trying to be this unit who goes in, hits, runs, and then, you know, does it again. The only problem, though, is that she lacks a lot of the momentum that would be good for a unit like that. She just doesn't... I mean, she has decent enough speed, but her attack is not that great, and... resistance.
Her speed is more than decent. She has the highest speed of all flyers, but her main issue is her attack.
Yeah.
She has decent def. She has amazing res.
God damn it! For some reason, I thought she
comes
had...
with.
I'm gonna up her to B then, because honestly, I thought she had no resistance. I forgot.
She's sitting at 33 resistance. She's essentially Tsubaki if you switch around the def and res.
Yeah. Which, speaking of Tsubaki. Anyways.
Her main issue is her damage, because she has 26 attack. Thankfully, she comes with a Silver Lance Plus, which is basically her best weapon, because it kind of makes up for her terrible attack, bumping her up to like 41 attack. So she can do sort of well. Obviously, she's not at the top. That's why I ranked her as B myself, but she's still pretty solid.
Yep, I guess. I thought her resistance was just terrible, so I was going to put her down there, but... oh, well, guess I'm wrong there. God damn it. Anyways, let's move on to the next unit. It is Cordelia, who, of course, gets S. Just because that's where she belongs.
Nah, I ranked her as A+, purely because she's amazing on offense. She has no trouble in offense. She's really good. But, like, basically whatever she touch will melt. It's the same thing as Charlotte.
Yeah.
However, it also comes with the issue that her defense and res are kind of on the low side.
Really? 22 defense and 25 res are low?
Well, 22 defense when you're attacking in melee is rather low. If she was attacking at range, 22 defense would be more than enough, because the only thing that could really hit you would be people with DC, so Ryoma, Ike, Hector.
The thing is that she has really good health. I mean, 40 is, you know, not terrible at all. I think her defense is, you know, granted, 22 is not great, Resistance, though, 25 is actually fairly decent for a flying unit, I think.
Yeah, it's decent. It's mainly your attack and speed that are really pushing her to be good,
yeah,
honestly.
I mean, 35 attack normally, and then, you know, 30... Actually, she's just like her bride self, which she has the same attack and speed, so... Yeah, I still say she's S because she has the ability... Usually, since she's a flying unit, she can get in there, do the damage, and then hopefully not have to deal with any repercussions, usually. Especially with how the AI is.
I ranked her as A+, at the top of A+, aside from Azura. Essentially, she's really good. Yeah. Believe me, she is. But it's just the fact that she's so frail, and the fact that compared to Bright Cordelia, who I rank S and not S+, Bright Cordelia is colorless, so she completely ignores triangle. Completely. And that's the reason why she's so good.
Yeah.
Cordelia is strong, but if she has to deal with green unit, she has issues.
Well,
essentially, to me, a unit that's an S-type unit can deal with color that they're weak against to some extent. Same thing with S+, which Cordelia has trouble with.
For me, S are the ones that can, you know, hopefully destroy a unit as quickly as possible. I don't necessarily see them as being these overpowered units that can kill everything. You know, Camus can do his job pretty well at doing that, but, like, you know, when it comes down to several things. It comes down to stat spread, utility, and the ability to, you know, what weapon they have and what skills they have.
Well, to some extent, like, Cordelia can almost deal with the entire roster if you actually get the right IV set, but I don't consider IVs when it comes to a tier list purely because you can't just pull the right IVs right like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, let's...
She's still pretty much, like, on the verge of being S to me, but just like that extra oomph that she would need.
Honestly, okay, it's time to talk about the next unit, and that is Corrin. So, I'm gonna be that guy, and I'm gonna say that right now, she is right between here for me. Right between. And that's because she's just, she's okay. She's not bad by any definition. She could be pretty good, but, like, I don't know what to say. Like,
she's pretty solid. I ranked her as A+ myself. Same rank as I ranked Noe, which a lot of people might be pissed at because for some fucking reason the wiki ranked Noe as S+ before.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Now he's probably more of an A+, but
yeah. And
Corrin has a good, she has a good attack, or at least decent girth. And
it's more like she's basically Noe, but she's more tanky toward melee
than magic.
Yeah, magic. And unlike Noe, she actually has 34 speed, meaning she doesn't get doubled as much. Noe has that issue that she only has 27 speed. Like, to give you an idea, let's talk about Cordelia. Cordelia, if she was speed plus with no A skill compared to Noe with triangle adept, which is most likely the skill she would have, would get quad by Cordelia.
Yep. It's I mean, Corrin has a decent stat spread. It's just, I don't know. When it comes to dragons, I always feel they're already uniquely at a disadvantage because Falchion users are usually so prevalent.
Falchion is not that much of an issue now. It's more Naga that's the biggest issue, which is fucking green. So have fun dealing with that when they're a blue dragon. And like, I don't know what they're doing with dragons, because dragons have more BST than infantry units.
Yeah.
And Donald does too, for some reason. He has the BST of a dragon unit.
Well, that's because it kind of mirrors his game, I guess. And
I guess.
We'll be talking about Donald soon, actually, so...
But, so... all of the dragons spread are just like, we have, like, under average speed, but we have decent bulk, which doesn't work well together. It's like, I have more bulk, but I get doubled all the time, so what's the use of that bulk?
Yeah, you know, armored units have that bulk as well, but a lot of them bring certain skills to, you know, to the fold, like Wary Fighter.
Yeah.
So it does help them along.
I mean, they're also only weak to like heavy lance and like hammer and then armor slayer, which are stuff that you would never fucking use to begin with.
Yep, it would, and not only that, but I mean, their only weakness would be magic, if at all, you know, usually. So,
I mean, my bunny Lucina smash Hector all the time, so
yeah, it's just I'm just gonna say that, you know, as when it comes to dragons, I'm pretty sure most of them are going to be in the same ranking, and I know that's gonna make people mad because I don't see Median being as too crazy good, but you know.
I ranked all Dancer as A+, so it comes to no surprise that Ninian is A+. I ranked Corrin F and Naui as A+, and they're both around the same thing. Because for some reason, they essentially have the same attack speed, just swapped around.
Yeah.
And their bulk is not that much different, except that Corrin F has so much defense that she can actually deal with Falchion user with just TA. Now we can actually get bodied by Lucina if she only has Swordbreaker or if she only has Triangle of Death, so she kind of needs both to really make sure that she survives.
Yeah, dragons have that weird little niche thing. Alright, let's talk about the next unit, and that is, of course, our good friend Donald, which we've already talked about, has a really verbose, I guess we could say, stat spread. He has a stat spread of a dragon unit.
Yep.
And I would say it
does.
Well, I guess it's meant to be mimicking his villager status in, you know, Awakening, where he got a lot, and how he has that growth ability that gives him more stats as he, you know, hopefully gives him more stats as he levels up. I think because of the stat spread, he actually could be A+. That's my idea.
I consider him at the top of A, but I can see him as being A+, so...
Yeah.
But, like, the bottom.
I mean, he has solid attack at 5 stars, 35 normally. His speed's not the best, but, you know, 29's not terrible.
I mean, it just made completely worse because he has a Brave Land, so he's sitting at 24 speed.
Yeah.
Which means he's gonna get doubled a lot. Donald, though, on offense is very solid, just not at the same amount as Inoka or Cordelia would, because their speed in their case is higher, and they can actually make use of own flyer to actually patch that speed issue a bit more. Donald does not have that, so that's why I consider him at the top of A and not A+. But
I'm still
like I said,
I tend to be more loose with mine, I guess.
Like, I mean, I can see him being at the bottom of A+.
Yeah.
Because I think it's literally at the top of my unit. Let me check.
I mean, as a unit himself, he feels like he's a good, solid unit if you put effort into him. I wouldn't use Brave Lance myself too much, but, you know. I went with a Carrot Lance. I'm kidding.
I rank Donald as the second best A tier unit.
Yeah.
Second to Abel, because Abel basically has better offensive spread and can actually use horse buffs.
Yeah. Damn.
So, yeah. But Donald is still a solid second A.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next unit, we have Effie, and I'm pretty sure we could both agree she's either S or, you know, somewhere around there.
She's S+.
Really? You see her as S+? Huh.
Yep.
Honestly,
because did you know that if you actually have some armored unit support, she can actually break
Oh, yes, I know. Goat armor, I ran into a unit that was using, like, goat armor, you know, hone armor, or whatever the hell it's called.
With a Brave Lance, she can hit 76 attack with buffs.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, she's probably S+ there, so I will.
And if you consider her with a Silver Lance, she breaks the 80 attack at an insane 83 attack.
Ew.
Now, I do understand that you will not always have, like, 2 goat and an own armor.
Yeah.
Because that requires you to have 2 Hector.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like the peak at what she can perform.
Well, that's what I ran into Arena. I ran into one Zephyl, two Hectors, and one Effie. They all had those abilities, and I got destroyed. So,
My God.
It was the worst thing ever. Zephyl also had distant counter. Effie, you know, it's just like, oh God, what are you? Why? And that's why I don't play Arena, friends. That's why. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, Effie is a monster, and if you build her correctly and build a team around her, she will be even more so. Especially if you go with an armor emblem, I guess.
Yeah, that's the only place I would really consider using Effie myself, because I'm not a fan of that mobility.
Yeah, I know people don't like it, but I like it. If you know.
That's the only reason why I don't enjoy using Effie, because otherwise she's the fucking monster.
Yep. Alright, so next up, of course, is Mr. Disgusting himself. It's Ephraim, and he is a solid S, I believe, because honestly, he shares the same kind of spot his sister does. He has...
Yep, he's an insane buffer, and when it comes to red, he can actually dish a ton of damage.
Yeah, he does
easily breaking the attack.
Yep, and he also has threatened defense, so that's kind of nice, you know, from the start. He buffs, of course, with, I believe it's Siegmund this time, and not Sieglind, but Siegmund, same basic thing, attack plus 3, and then you can give him all sorts of other things if you want to. You know.
Rally defense, own speed 3,
and basically he becomes the blue version of his sister with a little bit more attack, so...
I actually made Ephraim eat his own sister on my ult because his sister was sour.
It's not the first time he ate his sister. Ba-bam! Okay, I'm done. Alright, that is a bad joke and I hate myself, but moving on. Let's take a look at that, and here is... Honestly, this one is going to be contentious because I don't see her viability at all. Like, she's honestly the unit that whenever I see her and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot she exists in the game, and that is Est. I don't know how you feel about her, but...
Est is...
like
she's kind of a worse Donald, in the sense that...
Yeah, I was just like...
She has the same attack, one more speed, but her defense is not 32, it's 24. She kind of needs also a Brave Lens to really push her to really kill stuff.
Like I've seen people put her at the top of the list for no reason. Like, she's like, oh, suddenly S tier, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I saw that on the wiki tier list, and I'm like, are you fucking out of your mind? Like, at the best, she would be A+.
Yeah.
And that's with support. And they don't compare... The thing is, their list does not consider fucking flying support.
Yeah.
So, what the fuck is she doing in S?
I don't know, and I've seen people put her at top of the list on some of the other spots. I'm just like, no, it's not where you... She has, you know, she has an okay stat spread. She can be pretty good, but, like, she's not anywhere close to Ephraim. She's not anywhere close to Cordelia. Hell, she's not even... Yeah. She's barely close to Donald, if we could even give him that. And it's just like, no, she's not there.
Est is essentially Donald with less stat and with defense switch with res, because she does have a solid 30-something res. But her defense, which is the more important stat considering she's a melee unit,
she's gonna get clobbered.
Is kind of on the low side, and her speed is not great.
Yep.
I managed to make my Xander fucking double one, so what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't understand people, and I don't try to understand people. I'm going to guess, I don't know where to put this character. I'm going to probably put her fairly low because honestly, I have not seen her used reliably, and that is Shereena. And I'm going to go with B probably, because maybe A if you can build her correctly, but like honestly, I see her more as a B unit.
Let me check. I keep forgetting she even exists. I rank her as A.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm still gonna go with B because I can't put it. Like, I just can't think about that. Like, she doesn't. I don't know.
I can see why you would rank her as fucking.
I mean, she has decent attack, but her speed's not the 27 speed, I think, like normally.
Yep.
Her defense is okay. Her resistance is really the top stat.
Yep.
So she's this weird tanky unit that I'm not
She
sure.
she can do good if you give her glacies, but that's about it. Like, she needs glacies to work to really be good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next unit, and I have no clue where to put her. It's Gwyndolin. Where do you put Gwyndolin on your list?
Oh my god. Gwyndolin is insane, but at the same time kind of hard to make good use of her.
Yeah.
Because if you take an armored team, right?
Yeah.
And they all have cards, Gwyndolin ends up with 50 defense and 40 res. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, but her attack is garbage. Though she does come with a killer lens.
Yeah.
So you can give her like Ignis.
Yeah.
She has really good defense. So like with Ignis you can actually do 40 extra damage every time it procs.
Yeah.
And surviving up to there is not hard, but she needs to be in an armored setting because otherwise she doesn't have a lot to offer.
I'm just gonna put her in A then, because at least that's
that's where I ranked her. That's where I ranked her.
Because she's not terrible, but she's awkward. Oh boy. Next up is a good old-fashioned dandy that some people really love, some people really don't like her. Some people say she smokes too much. I don't really understand that joke. But anyways, here's Hinoka.
Your scummy girlfriend.
I would put her A+ at best, but that's just... Like, some people put her in S tier. I don't really see it.
Yeah, like, the one thing that she really has going for her is she's the only unit that has own flyer.
Yeah.
Which is amazing for a flying team, and it's the only reason where I would actually be happy pulling her.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if you actually don't consider that, because, I mean, you can just give that to another unit, unlike Singlinde and Singlund. And, I mean, she would be, like, more A+. She's a better Donald, for sure. Because on top of being a flying unit, she has more speed. But,
and she can go over I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep using that joke, it's gonna be over.
Damn it.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't really see her as being the potential SP that people seem to think she is. She's good, she's just not towards the level of, say, Ephraim or Cordelia, because I feel they do better at what she tries to do, at least when it comes to offensive. Granted, she's a lot more defensive.
Cordelia is essentially Inoka, but better.
Yeah.
In every way.
Okay, so next up is, oh boy, it's Yagan.
It's the only unit I have on the entire tier list for blue unit that is C.
Yeah, exactly, that's where I'm putting him too, because he's
like, there's many reasons why you wouldn't use him.
Yeah.
His BST is terrible, because first off, he's a cavalry unit, so he has less BST.
Yep.
But on top of that, he's considered a veteran. That also lowers your BST by 3, I believe. So you wouldn't want to use him in arena ever.
So wait, he's considered a veteran?
Yep.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, so, you know, a lot of people don't seem to understand that certain units have a specific stat spread when it comes down to it. That's the BST. Like, every unit always has that, and certain variations, like, there's added, like, I wouldn't say, like, tags to it, but basically, like, if your unit is cavalry, the stat spread is affected by it, because, you know, they're giving up movement, you're giving movement to them, so they have technically a little less stat exchange for it. And, you know, it's not helping him that he's already a cavalry unit. And then, of course, apparently you add in the old person trait, and he's just not doing too well.
Yep.
I mean,
it lowers his BST, which means, like, in arena, you will get less points using him. Just for the fact that you're using it, you're penalized.
Yeah.
It also means he has less stats to play around with, which doesn't really help. Like, he's a good res tank. I believe he has the most res of all blue units, sitting at 35.
Yeah, he has 35 resistance.
But But then,
he can be used as a buffer, I guess. You know, just fortified cavalry and.
But nothing that any other unit can pull better because they're actually usable. He's sitting at 27 attack and 24 speed, which, like, it's on the low side. It's not quite Henry level, but it's not great either.
Yeah. I mean, he's unfortunate. He's the Henry of this go through. So, well, actually, we'll wait on that one.
He is.
He is. But anyways, outside of that, well, he's just kind of a weirdo. Anyways, moving on, we have this is my favorite. It's Lind. Yeah.
She's S.
Yeah, she's S tier.
She's at the top of S tier when it comes.
She's not quite S plus. I agree. She is S. And that's she. Make no mistake. She's probably the best blue mage unit out there. So.
Nope, I consider Reinhardt being.
Oh wait, I forgot about Reinhardt. Oh god. Okay, never mind. Forget what I said. I was just looking at that. I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Reinhardt's gonna be S plus just because he's a freaking monster.
I mean, you can if you have an attack plus Reinhardt, I would rank him S plus. But if not, he's X. The very top of S. You and I are gonna have a fight here. Put them up, fisticuffs. Okay, moving on. Next up, we have... I mean, before we go, I'm just saying Lind is a very good blue mage unit. If you get her, keep her. She will last you forever. Next up is Lucina, Easter event, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. The egg event. I'd say she's the third best blue mage, purely because she comes with Swift Sparrow. Mm-hmm. And unless you have two of them laying around for some reason, which I doubt you have right now, you will not be able to pass down.
Yeah, I was thinking she's around S myself. So
yeah, she's toward the top of S purely because of that skill. If not, she would be still S, but more toward the bottom.
Yeah. She's a good unit. She has a lot of nice abilities about her. You will want to probably replace the egg tome that she has. I think myself, but
yes, I switched mine to Bloraven Plus.
Yep.
A lot of people don't seem to realize this, and I did not give her Triangle Adept to go with it. But Bloraven allows her to tank Kagero. She actually survives Kagero and kill her back.
Yeah.
It also allows her to take damage from Takumi twice.
Wow.
Before dying, which allows you to actually survive Quick Riposte Takumi, or even, like, to some extent, though lesser extent, maybe Brave Bow Takumi.
Yeah. Oh boy, Brave Bow Takumi. We'll be talking about that when we get to Colorless.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we have Lucas, and I believe he is a solid A+, at least.
He is.
Because, I mean, he's a little weird, but if you manage to, you know, give him some decent abilities, he will do a lot of damage. And
like, if you have an attack plus speed minus Lucas, you can one-round KO an Nectar.
Yep. I mean, he's very good. He, of course, has Fortress Defense, which just buffs his defense even more. Which...
Like, if you give him Quick Riposte,
yeah,
he will double. And if you have a healer to support him, that will mean that he will basically always be in Quick Riposte range.
Yep.
The fact that he's on Quick Riposte, anything melee range that will attack him, aside from maybe dragons like Faye, Naui, and the rest.
I mean, his attack and his defense. His defense is probably the highest I can think of for a blue unit, at least naturally. But it might be someone, you know.
If you're talking about his defense, he has the second highest defense of the entire game, second only to Draw.
Okay, well, there you go. And, you know, that's not including Fortress Defense, which will already add more to it if you decide to use it. The only problem is that its resistance is a little low.
Yep. Anything melee attacking him, even if it's a green unit, will most likely get killed.
Yeah, he's... Especially if you attach Ignis or something to it. Then he's just going to hurt so much. So Lucas there is pretty good. Alright, moving on next we have... Let's just pull her out here of the deck, and it's May. Now...
I rank as plus.
A+? Yeah, that's what I was going to go with.
Yep.
Mostly because she's kind of a discount lend in a way, but, you know, that's just what I see her as.
I mean, even Cena and Kata are better than her, in my opinion, because her speed is just... May has the highest attack of all the mages.
Yeah.
Of all, at least the blue ones. I believe Red Mage, there's Lilina and Sanaki that beats her.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I honestly feel that her tome is just this weird little niche thing that doesn't...
I mean, her tome can be switched for a blade tome. That's not an issue. The issue is just that she has 36 attack, which is really solid, but then her speed is 31. Kata will always double her if they have the same IVs.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that happens. So, just because of that, like, she has also poor defense, good resistance.
Yeah.
Which she can do good against other mages, but if you have to deal with something like Kata, she's just gonna obliterate her.
Yeah, May's a good mage. Make no mistake, though, guys. Like she will be. She's not. You know, she's not She's not exactly terrible. She's pretty close to Sheeta, I believe. Honestly, it's just that she doesn't have the speed to match. Yeah, I like May a lot. I have like 3 of her because that's my luck when it comes to summoning. I get like 3 of her. God damn it.
Oh, shut up. You got a Silica. Don't complain.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to put our next unit right there because I can let people get mad. It's Ninian. I'm putting her in A+ because, well, I feel when you're going with a blue unit, I really don't see her as being S. You know, that's just me, though.
I mean, all dancers to me are all A+.
Her defense is really low, her resistance isn't even that high, and her attack is pretty low as well. Like, people value her because she has this really you know, she has dance and sing, but, like, comparatively to other stats, if she goes up against a single green, let alone, you know, any sort of other unit, she's very close to just being obliterated. She doesn't have that advantage that a lot of the other dancers do.
Well, to be fair, she basically has the same stat as Azura. Azura has 21 defense, 28 res. Ninian has 23 def, 27 res.
Yeah, but I feel... sorry, go ahead.
The one thing that Azura has over her is the fact that she can have a TA lens and an A skill.
Yeah.
Ninian still can have, like, Triangle Adept herself, which basically makes her obliterate red unit because all dancers have the same speed, so that's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But the one thing that she has is that she attacks in magic.
Yeah, that's the other thing, but half the time I find that most of the units that she goes up against, she just doesn't do well with. That's just me, though. I mean, I know people are going to be like, oh, God, he's ragging on... But I still feel like Ninian, if I were to rate her on the tier list of dancers, she would be the bottom of the dancers because she has that weird disadvantage, not only with, you know, defense and resistance, but also because she's a dragon, she also add on the Faucian thing. That might be a problem as well. Just saying.
Yep, and, well, I mean, it doesn't really help that Naga existed either.
Yeah, Naga will just absolutely obliterate her, of course. Alright, moving on. We now have the next one. Speaking of now, it's, well, Nowie. I know you don't rate her too highly. You say, like, A+, right?
Yeah, she has the same rank as Corrin F, in my opinion. She's not awful, it's just that the fact that she cannot completely defend herself against sword unit with fall. Like, I mean, Lucina is the biggest threat. She can't defend herself against Lucina for the most part unless she has Triangle Adept and Swordbreaker.
Yeah.
Unless she has good IVs like maybe Def Plus. She's gonna eat shit, essentially, is what I'm trying to...
I agree with that. She's not... People rate her so highly, but they don't really add to the fact that you need to build a lot to her. And even then, that's, like, she's going up against maybe one... Like, she's still barely surviving against someone like Lucina who, you know, is supposed to be the same tier as her, and also at a disadvantage. So, just saying, guys, I think she's A+, and that's just me. Alright, moving on, we have Obero. Where do you put Arboro? I put her at like, I mean, maybe A if at best.
Yeah, that's where I ranked her as well.
I mean,
purely because, like, she's at the bottom of A, but she's still A. Purely because she has 35 defense. She's basically a discount Lucas.
Yeah, she's
with the right weapon.
Yeah, she can do some of the things that Lucas can do, but not as well. And she I'm thinking, if I recall correctly, she even has less attack than Lucas, which I could be wrong, but
Let me verify.
I think he has. I think Lucas has like 35, and she has like 32. So I could be wrong, at least naturally, but let me.
Oh yeah, Lucas is 35 attack, and yeah, Oboro is 32.
So a little bit less, a little bit more, and that's pretty much all you got to say about Oboro. She's not bad. So, and here is the next one. It's Odin. My favorite. I'm gonna just plop him down to C rank.
I ranked him as A purely because of Blade Tome.
But would you really? I mean, would you really use him as a Blade Tome?
He has Blade Tome innately.
I know that, but still, I don't think his. I don't know. It's kind of like when people go, "Oh, hey, here's Ursula. She's A naturally," and then bam, right up there. I still feel like even with Blade Tome, I still feel he's C. He's just that poor man. Like,
the main stat that matters if you're a Blade Tome unit is mainly speed, because that's what matters. That's what decides if you're gonna double or not. His attack is garbage at 22, but with a Blade Tome, he hits 35, and then if he gets buffed by, say, Erica, he gets to 51 attack. With
Fine, I'll bump him up to B, but that's where he stays, god damn it. Lordy.
A fully buffed Odin is able to one-round KO the entire game if he specs. It's insane.
Well, I live in my fanciful magic land as well, so don't worry. I'm only kidding, don't worry. Alright, moving on next, it's, oh god, I think I just accidentally opened up Sony Vegas. That's not what I wanted to do. Well, alright, I'll let that go. Here is Olwen. She's Olwen. Move Olwen, there we go. Olwen is an odd one. Like, I would say A+ myself, but
that's where I ranked her as well. Like, the main issue that she has, I believe it's a woman.
Yeah, that Olwen is a woman.
like she has insane speed. She's tied with Titania, I believe, for the highest speed of all the Ors units. 34. Like, her speed is good. It works well with Dire Thunder. But the problem with it is that her attack is sitting at 26.
Yeah.
That's not great.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, the same sort of problem that Sheeta has, honestly.
Yeah, kind of.
But, a little bit worse because she's a horse unit, so her BST is not that great. Just saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say solid A+, just unfortunately, but we'll talk about some of the other stronger mage units that are also on horses that are also blue. You know who we're talking about. Next up is P is for whatever. I forget how she says her name when you first summon her. She's just like whatever. She's A. I'd say solid A.
Solid. She can almost be sort of like a blue Ana.
Yeah.
But she's less BST, and she's also kind of fucked over because she needs to get all those Ors buff to just equal Ana in terms of speed.
Yeah.
And when you talk about her attack, that's just not gonna compare, period.
Yeah, she has, 33 in attack compared to Anna's what? I forget.
I believe she has 36 or 34. No, 35.
Oh. Well then. That's terrifying.
Yep, 35. And she has 36 speed too to back it up. That's the main thing that really makes her so good.
Jeez.
And then you add Life and Death, she basically has a base 40 attack and 41 speed without weapon considered.
Yep. Okay, well, that's just insane. And now we're going to talk about the next Tome unit who I see every time in Arena, and it gets me mad every time I see it. Okay, so I'm just I already know where this guy is probably going to go, just because, well, yeah. It's Reinhardt. Yep, and he's probably S+, just because, well, that's where he probably ends up.
I consider him as S because I'm using Odin and Reinhardt now. He has really solid attack, but he has also pretty solid counters. Namely, Julia. Julia can literally make Reinhardt hit her for 0.
Wow. Well.
And then just double him back for like 40-something damage. I mean, I did that 3 times on my ults today. So
I still see him as ridiculously powerful because he just has that attack stat, and of course, since he's Dire Thunder, it just backs it up even further. If you can attack first, yeah, I mean, you'll probably kill him. But
like, Soren also has enough rest to deal with him. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he has a lot of attack, and he's definitely up there. He's the best S tier unit in my opinion. However, if you are actually able to deal with him to some extent, if you're able to hit him, you will always get doubled.
Yeah.
This is the main reason why he's not S+. If you were able to basically make so that his speed would not be as awful, I would definitely rank him as S+. But the fact that he has like 18 speed on average is... he still hits hard.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. Like a fucking truck. But his speed is the main factor to why he ends up to be that S tier and not S+. He's still borderline S+ in my opinion, but
yeah, I still think he's S+ just because of how strong he really can be.
Like, if you consider Ivy, if you have an attack plus Reinhardt, he's definitely S+ to me. But I don't consider IVs, therefore he's S.
Alright, let's move on to the next thing, and that, of course, is Robin Male. Or Male Robin, whichever you prefer. I'm gonna go... I was gonna say A+, but he might be more of an A.
Yeah, he's more of an A. Purely because, like, his speed isn't great, his resistance is under average.
Yeah.
His defense is good. He deals really good with any colorless. He deals really good with any reds because you usually build him with Triangle Adept together with Blurraven.
Yep.
That works really well, but anything that is blue or red, he will have issues with.
Yeah, he's not... I feel he's meant to be that kind of unit that just deals with colorless. He's his own little thing, you know?
Yeah, essentially, if you're going to build him, you're going to build your other 3 units to deal with, like, green and green and blue mainly.
And he's just meant to take out the colorless and the green. I mean, the colorless and the red, sorry. Get killed by the green, get colorless and red. So, I mean, he's decent. I say he's pretty nice, at least. I'm going to have to level him up for Tempest Trials. But anyways... Let's move on to the next unit, and that is Shana, or Shana, and
with her best being deportation.
Yes, deportation. A probably. I'd say A.
Yeah, I rank her as A as well. She has pretty solid offensive stat though.
Yeah, she does. She's not a bad unit to bring along, and you could probably build her into a flying unit if you a flying team if you wanted to.
Like, she has a solid 35 speed. Her attack is kind of on the low side with 30.
Yeah.
But it's nothing awful.
Yeah, she does fine, I think. All right, moving on to the next one. Let's see here. I'm just trying to think of what I'm going to do with her, because, yeah, it's Shereena. For those who don't know, here's Shereena. I'm really thinking A+ myself, but. I don't know.
I still consider her as S purely because her weapon isn't shit compared to the other 2.
Really?
Yeah, she has a solid 29 defense, 22 res. Her speed is at 32, which is not too shabby either. She also has 32 attack, which translates to 48 attack. Yeah. So her stats overall are fairly decent. The problem that you might think is just... It's kind of on the low side and more like versus A+.
Yeah.
But our weapon actually has built-in threatened defense, I think?
Yes, it does. No, attack. Threaten attack.
Let me verify.
It's threat and attack. I know.
Yeah, it's attack. It's attack. So yeah, if you consider that in conjunction with like a fortify, which I believe she has innately, she has fortify defense.
Yep.
She can basically smash down the damage that she received by 8 for anything that's physical.
Yeah.
So she can.
And even then, if something attacks her, it still affects magical units as well. At least the threat and attack does. So.
Yep.
Still
and
good.
she also comes with rally attack, so she can basically have a semi-support, just like Erica and Ephraim, to a lesser extent, obviously. But instead of +3 attack, she lowers attack by 4. She's definitely sort of worse stuff than Ephraim and Erica, but she's definitely there.
Yeah, I feel she'll do good at S. I think that's a good spot for her. I mean, for me it was more A+, but I'm gonna let you have that one. Next up is Tsubaki, who is A, maybe A.
Yep. Yep, because his 35 defense just is really.
It's nice.
Like if you check videos a lot, if you see there's a lot of people that clear the GHB with 3 stars only, and Tsubaki is a regular in this.
Yeah.
Pure because of his defense. Like I've seen Olivia being cleared with a 3-star Juro, a 3-star Tsubaki, a 3-star Olivia, and a 3-star healer that I don't remember the face of.
That's usually how most healers are, though. I don't remember the face of any of them.
Kind of.
Alright. Yeah. Okay, and moving on, we have Sully. And Sully is an interesting unit, but I feel there's just so many different, better characters you could bring along. So I'm gonna put her in B myself.
I believe that's where I ranked her as well. Yeah, that's one of the 3 units I ranked as B.
Yeah.
One of them I need to actually reconsider, because seeing his stats, he's an insane tank overall.
So, I mean, Sully just kind of is down there. I don't really want to go too much into detail there. She's just, eh.
Yeah, she has really good speed.
Yeah.
She has attack, but...
And her defense and res are just kind of as well, so...
Yeah, her speed is the only stat that really goes... Whoa, about. It's basically, she's a lot like Titania.
Yep.
But Titania is like an upgraded version of her and green.
Alrighty, and moving on to the next unit, we have, of course, our good friend Ursula. As we said before in the last video when we talked about red units, Ursula is mostly a solid A, potentially. Without Horse Emblem and Blade Tome. And
she's almost a B tier if you don't consider Blade Tome.
Yeah.
She's that bad. But the fact that she has decent speed, the fact that her attack isn't great, but she can have a Blade Tome, the fact that you can add to this horse buffs that basically buff her attack by 30, that actually makes her a solid A+.
Yeah.
But like I said, if it's not of horse buffs, should be B.
I feel solid A is a good example. Honestly, she's just one of those units that if you don't have horse buffs and the Blade Tome, she's not that great.
Like 29 attack, 32 speed. She's basically Kata with 5 less speed.
Yeah.
That's actually literally what she is.
So, I mean, if you happen to put her in a horse team, by all means, go right ahead. She'll be great. But still, that just shows you how broken Blade Tomes are, guys.
Yeah.
Alright, last unit for the day, and that, of course, is Xander again, because X is the last one that we actually have. Well, Xander last time we got beat up by Zephyl, but still. Bunny Xander, what do you think? I think he's probably around B or C, honestly.
I ranked him as B, though I most likely will reconsider putting him as A, because he has pretty decent defense and res. Unlike the original.
Yeah.
Let me actually go on his page to say the stats. He has 35 defense, so 2 less defense than Xander, but he's also sitting at 26 resistance.
Yeah. I mean,
And if you have a red on top of that, you have 35 defense and 30 red without a skill.
yeah. I mean, I still see him as B. He just has a really weird, like, I don't know. I mean, compared to his final, like, his actual self, he just doesn't seem to fit that void too well to me. That and he looks like a pimp. It's kind of weird. I give him a solid... I would give him C just for that, but still.
I mean, it's a good impression of what comic feels like.
Yes, that's a good impression of a comic
Yeah, there
as
we
a
go.
pimp. Yep, that's definitely him, all right. So I mean, Xander's okay as a bunny, I guess. You could probably make him work really well if you wanted to, but there's our tier list, guys. There's every unit I believe under the sun when it comes to blue units. I don't think we're missing anyone. So
That felt really short, purely because there's so little of them.
yeah, but guess what? It's over an hour long. So
Shit, not again.
God damn it! Why? Alright, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like. If not, just remember it's our tier list and we say what we want to say. If we insulted you at all, feel free to leave a comment. Mostly insulting Jay, not me. Thank you very much. See you guys later. Bye!